We lit. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Blue 51. This ain't my phone. That's why it's all red. I'm going to get it back to red in a second. But today's conversation is actually brought to you by TikTok because I saw an TikTok video where a guy was saying the reason why white people are still racist is because of their experience with black people. And the girls in the joint were like, nah. He broke out an example, which I'm going to give to the guys when I asked them the question if they think that's the reason why white people are still racist today. I was very curious about how the barbershop would receive that question and the guy's answer, if they would agree with him. So here we go. We're checking it out now. First, I'm going to say, what up, Kev? What up, Kev?
What up, Kev?
It's the only way to get him to do the show. Kev,
Yes, sir.
I was watching TikTok and this guy said the reason why white people are still racist today is because of their experience with black people. The woman said, you can't blame black people for white people being racist. And he said, nah. He said that a white person goes out to a store. Well, they say black people have terrible customer service, right? So a white person goes to a Walgreens and she orders something. And the girl's like, you want a drink? All right, got you a drink, right? And gives her like an attitude or whatever. And her name is Tanya. She goes to another restaurant that has better service, higher service. And even though she gets good service, in the back of her mind, she's still thinking about the experience she had with Tanya and how it was terrible. And she goes on with that experience of that black person as like her baseline for how she engages with black people going forward. So he was saying that is the reason why racism is still a thing with white people is because their experience with black people. A, do you agree?
No,
And B, why don't you agree?
because customer service is the individual.
He just used that customer service as an example. He was just saying that the way white people experience black people is why they're racist today.
Because I've had some bad white people customer service experiences.
Do you think did that change your perspective of all white people?
No.
How did you receive that?
Huh?
How did you receive that? Like the experience with that white person?
Just as a rude person, that you shouldn't be in customer service if you don't want to deal with the customers.
You don't think there's a little bit of prejudice towards white people in that particular field? Like you went to the same mechanic or went to a mechanic after experience of a white person being rude to you? You don't think that prejudice is built up if you have a bad experience with a white person as a mechanic that you wouldn't want a white mechanic after that experience?
No, because I can't judge everybody off one experience.
Still like women at the homegirl party short? We don't like women no more because she's cut short.
I'm gonna get to you. I want you to remember. You haven't experienced it, bro, but I'm funny as shit with this camera. I want you to know I'm funny as shit with this camera. I'm gonna wait. I get down there. I'm just like, I'm very talented at entertaining people when I have this microphone. So we gonna get there. I'm working my way down. Kathy. I don't ever ask you no questions. And this question is terrible to ask. It's terrible to ask you. Don't ask you. Can I ask you, bro?
No, I'm good, man.
Yeah, all right. They want to duck it. They ducking it today. I love it. Scrapes, my man. Scrape Diddy. All right. So look, here's the question, right? I forgot that Diddy is such a bad thing. Look. Whatever, Mr. Combs, you need to figure that out, man. But you ruining it for a lot of people, man. Diddy used to be a freaking compliment. Now that joke's an accusation. Somebody Diddy, it's a whole lot of things come with it. All right, so here we go. The question is, do you think white people are still racist today because of their experience with black people? You heard the example that I gave about the customer service?
Nah, I didn't hear it.
All right, so Homeboy said that his example was, they say that black people are terrible at customer service, right? So a white person goes to a restaurant and and her waitress is Tanya, she asks Tanya for a drink and Tanya's like, all right, got you a drink, like snaps at her with a nasty attitude or whatever. She takes that experience when she goes to another restaurant, a higher class restaurant, maybe it's not even higher class, has a better customer service base, right? They go in and their waiter is nice to them, but in the back of her mind, she's still expecting the service that she received from Tanya, right? So she's apprehensive now. And he's saying that is why because of the few people who carry themselves like the stereotype, it perpetuates the stereotype, which makes black people behave in a racist or prejudiced manner. That was his reasoning for it. Do you agree with that? Damn. Go ahead and
I
say
ain't
it.
gonna lie, I got lost going through it because I saw Hello Boy's head like lopsided, so I had to focus on the head. You know what I'm saying?
They need to stop eating at Denny's. Go to a better restaurant.
He said that he basically said she experiences bad customer service in one place, she's gonna take that bad experience to the next place, and that's how it perpetuates the prejudice or the racism that white people have, that black people do that. They have, like, because some people behave poorly, it makes us all look bad. That's basically what he's saying.
Honestly, what Kev just said, I was gonna say the same thing.
It's not on the microphone. You gotta say what Kev just said.
Like white people don't behave poorly. You know what I mean? Like you can go anywhere in the world and just the color of a person's skin doesn't reflect on their act. Well, it does. It doesn't reflect on their actions. Like that person is, if they want to behave poorly, act up, act ignorant, act nice.
It's on that person.
It's on that person.
But how? So who would you say is the worst behaved race
The
though?
question that you're asking is if white people are racist because of a reason. I think people are racist just because they want to still be racist. You know what I mean? Like that's it's a choice. It's not about what anybody does. It's okay. I don't like you, so I'm fucking racist. You know what I mean?
I think it's a conversation they just woke up and was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a real mother effer today. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who the? It's Scrapes. He doing barber stuff right now. I gotta wait a second.
All right. You want anything different?
Mid conversation, nigga went into super barber mode. This is my thing. I'm gonna ask him which race is the worst race, because I want to see what he do. A, if he answers. B, if he has one, because then we gotta get into that. I gotta wait till he's done talking. Hey, Scrapes. One last question. One last question, bro. Which by your own account of your experience, what race is the worst race?
I can't say that because then I'm racist. You trying to set me up on camera?
Oh, he definitely trying to get you guys.
Try to get him up out of there. Hey, on my own channel, my channel get canceled with you. Yeah. What do you mean?
God.
Hey man, it is what it is. He's a smart dude. Dude was thinking. All right, couldn't get him out of there. What's that? My man. Come back and ask. Nah, it's too late. It's too late. Too late. Don't want to hear no more. How you doing today, brother? Yeah, it's my brother Sean right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm fantastic. How you doing, big dog? All right. I'm gonna bother Sean though. Sean, brother got on a podcast with these ladies and said that the reason why white people are still racist today is because of their experience with black people. Right? Black girl said, you can't go blaming black people for white people being racist. He goes, but hear me out. He said that when white people experience black people and they behave in a stereotypical way, they take that experience and they go to the next person or the next experience expecting the same experience they got last time. And that prejudice they carry with them allows them to, I guess, qualify whatever prejudice or racism they have because of the experience that they had with that particular people. So my question to you is, do you think that's a true statement? Do you agree that the experience of black people is why there's racism in the white community?
Well, nah, because I think that this is a layered conversation.
I know.
It's real layered. Yeah. When you break down what the surface level of racism is, it's not, and then you go deep into it. Racism is a power structure. It's not people say racism as in a prejudice, but racism is being able to control the resources. Race, win, a winner. Racism is that. And what they're describing is prejudice, in my opinion. They're describing the prejudice.
Yes.
And that's narrow-mindedness, you know what I mean? That's like saying all white people are like this. Maybe most of them are, but I have to have the intelligence to know and identify not all of them are like that, and I have to deal with each one accordingly and then write them off. But still maybe have a high guard based on my experiences. But racism is a whole nother, we're diving into a whole nother category of conversation.
You know, when I picked it, I thought it was great because the way that he equated it, right? The way that he kind of like tried to like qualify his reasoning for it was based on like a fallacy and logic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because every white person didn't experience a negative experience with black people. You know what I mean? Like, just as a baseline for racism, some racist people don't even know black people. They don't know anyone. They only know white folk. You know what I'm saying? And their not knowing leads them to be easily manipulated by the stories they hear or the stereotypes that get passed around, but they have no concept of experiencing or interacting with a black person. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who was the dude? There was a guy that went around meeting with white supremacists and he's like was winning their hoods. He has like a whole house decorated with the hoods and the
Black dude?
black dude. He would go out and he would befriend white supremacists, and everybody he befriended, they ended up leaving the Klan. And when they left the Klan, they gave him the robes. Like, yo, I can't. He goes, it was ignorance. Everybody he's befriended, he was like, it was ignorance. They had no concept of a black person listening to him, talking to him, interacting with him. He's like, and all the people that they interviewed for it, they were like, yeah, I used to be a grandmaster here, da. And honestly, I didn't know that he was like me. We have so much in common that the commonality made it where he was like, he couldn't qualify his racism anymore. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't qualify because he had, and this black guy, I don't know if he's still alive at this point because he was an older guy at the time, but he was literally, his whole thing was meeting up, like befriending white supremacists. I think he didn't go to Klan rallies, but he was very close to like whatever was going on with them a lot and frequently, and it just ended up being like I don't know. It was a story for a while. It was online for a little bit. It was like Pastor. I get every once in a while it fires back up when they're trying to, when people are saying, "Why can't we all be like this?" It's like everybody ain't got the stomach to be out here.
Black people should be a little bit more racist. Because in order to be racist, it involves some type of unity within your race.
Which is why I thought this conversation was funny. Because it was a black man, and because he was wearing a bow tie, I'm gonna be honest with you, I automatically assumed he was from the community because he was wearing a bow tie. It was just like that's the uniform. But he was like, nah, it's the experience. The few that behave that way perpetuate the idea, and that's why it's the way it is. And I was like, I don't disagree that prejudice can be formed by a bad experience. I think that in itself is a true statement.
But it's prejudged prejudice. It's like you're prejudging something based off your past experiences.
Which makes sense. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's obviously a fallacy in that particular logic. But to equate someone's experience and their built-in prejudice because of their experience would require everyone that is racist to have experienced poor customer service, to have experienced some stereotype of black people, and then qualify it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part that makes it like.
I mean, I think that there's a little bit of truth there, but then you still need your level of intelligence and discernment. That's what we're really talking about, right? Being able to discern. Do you like shopping in the hood?
No.
Why?
I don't
All
think
black
so.
people there. Well, a lot of their customer service sucks. You know what I mean? Not all of them. You have to use your discernment. But how many transactions do you have to go through in order to get one good customer service?
I would tell you that most of my customer service experience in the hood is good though. And I think it's just a personality thing. Like I meet people, I tend to resonate with certain people, and the people I resonate with are the ones I invest in. Like I've gone to great places that are supposed to have great customer service and had a shitty experience with a waiter or
Well, you just said no.
I don't want to go. You said go to the hood, but I'm like, no, I just don't go because I just don't. The demographic and in general, the mindset is I feel like I'm going against the wave.
Okay.
If I have the choice, I'm gonna go somewhere that's more comfortable and more freeing. Like I don't want to go somewhere where I'm uncomfortable. I'm typically uncomfortable in those places, not because of just the demographic. I feel like there's a survival edge, and I don't want to get triggered. You know what I'm saying? Like having been a have-not for so much and had that mentality kind of ingrained in me, and then trying to like elevate out of that, I feel like when I go back to that scenario, I feel like I automatically go back into habits that are detrimental to myself. You know what I mean? So I don't go for my own like therapy and mental health. I typically choose, and if I do go, I'm like, okay, in and out. You know, mind your manners, do your thing, and don't engage. Because sometimes you do get a poor thing, and because I'm in that particular environment, respect is such a big thing in those areas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though it's not, like someone could act up, you could be like, yo, whatever, and roll out, and they could have to, yeah, man, I punked that, but it could be nothing. You know what I mean? But I'll make it something in my head like this nigga, I can't look soft out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it doesn't matter, but I'll get trapped.
Pride.
Yeah, and they'll get me. So I avoid things like that for myself.
Neiman Marcus is the opposite. You go up to Neiman Marcus, they're snobby, and they won't give you the customer service based on you go just like this, but you got a whole knot in your pocket ready to break bread. But just because you dress like this, they were like, you know what I mean? Bad customer service.
Yeah, skin's brown. You know, the bigger thing is.
Nah, you go in there looking like Trinidad James, you might get some love.
For real?
If you go in there shining like you getting money.
Oh, you gotta show it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But if you just go in there like, hey, like you just have a little podcast and a little barbershop in a little town called Herndon, you know what I mean? You might not get a lot of love there.
Shout out to the little show. You know what I mean? Shout out to the little show. You know, it's only been around.
Like he tried to call you little.
Doing little
No,
teams.
they do.
The
They've been
little
doing that
show
forever.
little teams.
I shared this is how you know this barbershop is trash, right? Let me tell you, story time, right? So I had a date, right? It was a bad date. The girl made an accusation. She said I was lying on my height, which I don't believe in lying in general, So like when she
Like
said that,
5'8"?
it went against. She was like 4'11". Shorty told me I was 5'8". We stood up, and her 4'11" ass came to here, and she was like, "Yeah, you no way you
What
five.
are you? Were you 5'9"?
I'm 5'11".
You 5'11"?
Yeah, she was like, you said.
Yo, he 5'11".
She was like,
He
yo,
5'11".
he wouldn't know. Red says all the time,
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
Oh yeah, well you standing on the thing.
I know. I'm just playing. I ain't 6.
but he,
I'm 6 either.
but he was like, she goes.
Look at these little niggas lying on their little inches.
Let's get him. Let's get him.
I'm 6'1".
Yeah, hold on, bro. Hold on. Turn the camera. Turn the camera. Turn the camera, bro. Turn the camera, bro. So that's my brother Ray. He said, yeah, no. He's 6'4". He's 6'4". He's 6'4". He's 6'4", so he's bigger than me. So all my life he's been bigger than me, and I don't never complain. I actually hate tall people, but I love my brother Red, so he's not gonna bother me with his little tall jokes. Because honestly, I know all my life he's never made fun of my height. Like I don't know where this goes. The barbershop that corrupted my brother. Because all my life, Red never said I'm taller than you. Why would you need to say that to me? Why would you need to say that to me? He ain't never said that to me in his entire life. This is the first time height has been a conversation in the 30 years I've known Red. That's crazy. Nah, but the girl said story time. I did story time. So I go on a date. The girl was like 4'11". She was like, yeah, I don't know how we got on height, but I was like, yeah, I'm 5'11". She was like, no, you're not. And she was like offended, right? And I'm like, nah, I'm 5'11". She was like, no, you're not. And I was like, and I wasn't offended about the height thing because that's not that big of a deal to me, right? I was offended about calling me a liar. It's like, bro, I don't need to lie to you to get you. Like, you here already. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I lying? What? You know, like, what? So I was upset about the lie. So then but I kept going because she's cute. I'm not gonna lie, she's very pretty. So I stand up. She stand up next to me. I'm like, hey, you know, this is gonna shut it up. She goes, nah, no way. You're like 5'8". She's 4'11". She goes, you're like 5'8". I was like, yo, you know what?
Yeah, she was trying to drive.
I thought she was trying to be cute. I rolled out. They're like, no way. I was like, yeah, I rolled out. She texted me. She was like, really? And I ain't saying nothing back. And it was dying. Left.
You just stood
rolled
up.
out.
You just stood up
Rolled out.
and walked.
Whoa.
Didn't say bye.
I don't got time for it.
Strike team.
All day, bro. I don't got time for it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you saw that.
when you stunting on them, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to be humble. But it's not even that. It's just more like, why would I get into something stressed out? You know what I'm saying? And it's the liar thing goes against my core value. I'm not a liar. So the fact that she was kind of like jokingly calling me a liar, I didn't want that to be. I didn't want it to be my thing because I don't take it. It was too much for me. I rolled out.
Did you guys get back in contact after that?
Yeah, we got back in contact, but we ain't going on like another date.
She hit you or you hit her?
She hit me.
And said what?
She just said like,
Like you just really gonna roll? She was probably hot and bothered that you did that too.
it is what it
I'm
is.
talking about in a good way. Like, ooh, he just rolled out on
But here's the thing. That's not the story I want to get with.
Right
You skipping something else. I came back. I told the barbershop because I wanted to like ha with them about, yo, that's crazy, man. Because they know I don't be lying. The barbershop has now been about four months, maybe 5. They have not stopped calling me short. Every time I come in here, they say I'm 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". They make short jokes. Now, they was making jokes before because of Lil Will. But now it's out of control all day.
No, Will did call you little.
Lil Will called me little, and that was like a little thing. That was like Lil Blue, little show. It worked with the branding, all right?
Little shop.
The little shop and the little
shop,
show,
yeah.
you know, it all worked with the branding. Now it's 5'6", 5'8" Blue, you know what I mean? It's just out of control. It's just, and these are my people. They know I left. They know I left the girl because I didn't like her joking about my height. And now I come in every Friday, and they make fun of my height. They don't think I leave this. What they don't know is that. But Blue 5'6" and a half.
Blue 5'8".
I want to make my jokes. Hey, you know how I do about my name. You know how I am about my name.
That's your man.
Hey,
that said that.
you know how I do about.
Don't
I'm
bring
saying,
it
I'm
over here.
telling,
I thought it was
I'm
funny.
telling
I
you,
can laugh.
I'm telling, yeah, you can laugh,
I can- it was funny.
but you know how I do about my name, bro. I don't play. Look, man, they can play around if they want to. You can let them know. I don't play around that name.
He was getting ready to cut me off because I called him.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We in a good place. We in a good place right now. So look.
He came by, wouldn't even speak to me.
I was real curious about how they were going to handle the conversation about the racism. I'm actually very surprised that it was very simple. Like, The way the girls got fired up about the fact that he was trying to blame black people for white people's racism, I thought the barbershop was going to be a little bit more entertaining. I'm actually kind of cool. They're so intellectual. They kind of broke down the word and like how things played. I don't know. You let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll post a little bit of the clips with the actual video that the guy was speaking on. Me personally, I think that blaming black people for racism is egregious. That's the craziest thing in the world. I think racism is something that is completely devoid of what black people need to do. I don't think black people need to worry themselves with healing white people's racism. I think that's something that has nothing to do with us. I think black people just need to heal as a community because there's so much damage that was done because of racism and slavery and Jim Crow. Like all these things have been very detrimental to the psychology of black people. So I think there's a lot of healing that needs to happen on that end, outside of worrying about how some people's behavior might affect people negatively, because there's no way around that. There's going to be lawless people in every demographic of people, and the lawless people are going to do lawless things. And if we're going to be represented by our worst people, then why would we only hold black people to the standard of being represented by their worst people? Why wouldn't we do the same thing for white people or Asian people or anybody else? Why are black people always held to the standard of their worst people? It doesn't make any sense to me, so I'm not buying it. It's not for me. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Thank you guys. Peace.